I'm Jeff Cornwall, and this is the Entrepreneurial Mind. Today, my guest is Jonathan Wiley. We'll be back to talk with him after this. Welcome, Wiley.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dr. Cornwall.
Happy to have you here. And so you started out in the world kind of getting interested in app development, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
You went to Vanderbilt?
Went to Vanderbilt. Smartphones came out right when I was graduating.
Great timing.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you what the technology was that came out when I was graduating. It was before the fax machine, so we'll just say that. So you got interested in this and started to play around, and if I remember right, you actually moved away and tried to kind of start a brand new venture out east, right?
Yeah, that's right. Moved to New York with some friends. We thought we'd make $1 billion app company. Taught myself Android development. We did launch an app. It didn't make $1 billion. Spoiler alert. But yeah, it was a great experience. It was a good time to really get into the market. And then moved back to Nashville and kind of went from there.
So what'd you learn from that? Because anytime we kind of go through a rough experience, there's lessons. What'd you learn from that first one?
Doing business with your friends is tough.
Right.
It's very hard to have partners that you're really emotionally involved with outside of work as well as inside of work. So that's a really difficult thing. Another thing is having some sort of plan before you go into something is usually a good idea.
Other than we're going to make a whole lot of money
exactly,
together.
Yeah. We had no idea.
And we're great friends.
Make that money.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could go wrong, right?
Yeah.
But no, we had a lot of fun and I learned a lot, especially on the development route, and we were happy that we at least got something shipped. But really I knew very little about the business side of actually building apps.
So you came back home. You're from Middle Tennessee originally.
That's
and
right.
And so what's the genesis of the idea for the company that you have now?
Sure. So I moved back to Nashville. I started working at an agency, so I was doing a similar thing to what I'm doing now, building apps for clients, consulting with them. Was kind of involved in every aspect of that and kind of thought, hey, why can't I do this myself? I think one of my biggest revelations was just realizing all these people who have companies, all you have to do is say, I'm a company, and file a piece of paperwork with the state, and bam, you're as legit as anyone else out
there.
Sure.
Especially in your market, there's not like old timers in the app development world.
I've been around as long as you can be around in mobile
right.
apps, which is great. So that's kind of where that idea came from, and I thought, well, maybe I could do this better. Maybe we can produce higher quality product. Maybe we can treat our employees really well. And so I tried the product side. I worked at Griffin for a while. So that was interesting. Not quite my cup of tea. I like having a lot of different challenges at once, and I like shipping quickly. And so moving back into an agency model was kind of a perfect fit for me.
And do you have partners in this, or did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got a very talented partner, my girlfriend, Jennifer Bennett. She's kind of the creative side of LunarLincoln, so all of our branding, our website and everything she put together. She's a great app designer. She wears a lot of hats right now, as do I. As we grow, we're slowly shedding those, but she handles all of our finances and stuff like that. So she's a great counterpart to me. I'm very, detail-oriented on the tech side, and she's able to kind of take a softer approach and deal with clients and project management and do the design stuff, which is amazing to me.
So how's it work to having someone that you're in that serious a relationship with also as a business partner?
Yeah, we've been together for 5 years. It's really good, I think. I think I did that before with friends, and I was a little bit naive whenever I went into it. Jennifer and I have just a fantastic working relationship. We are extremely honest with each other, which helps. We're not able to BS each other at all.
Right.
I can look at her and I know she's thinking something, even if she's not saying it, and so that gets drug out. But I think it's been really good. It forces us to be kind of open and honest. The only downside is it's sometimes hard to leave things at the office.
Right.
And so that's a challenge. We basically just have a rule that anyone can say, when we're outside office hours, look, let's just talk about this in the morning.
Right.
And the other person
Plenty of time
go,
tomorrow.
Exactly. So the problems are never done.
It's no different than, telling a business associate, don't call me home at night.
Right, exactly.
It's just there's no difference in that, and people don't perceive that as rude, and it's actually a healthy way to lead your life. So.
Exactly. But I think it's worked out really well. I think a lot of people are kind of weirded out when they find out that like we're involved in a relationship. But I think for me, I couldn't have known a business partner any better than her, and so it's worked out really well.
So the kind of apps that you work on, you were describing before we went on air. It sounds like they're a little more sophisticated, kind of more complex apps. So it's not like somebody comes in and say, "Hey, I want to do an app," and they don't even know if there's a market for it. I mean, you're looking at more commercial kind of apps that have specific purpose for primarily existing businesses.
That's right. Yeah. So we kind of have two types of clients. We've got our large B2B clients, and so for them, we're really building value-add solutions. So, for instance, email marketing.
Right.
We built an app for them so that their users could get a snapshot of their email opens and stats while they're on the go. And so, that doesn't necessarily bring any revenue into Emma, but, it is a value add for their customers, and now they can say, hey, we've got a mobile app to help you with this too. And sometimes that's just enough to bring them, over the tipping point of saying, sure, I'll sign up for that service. The other type of client that we work with are startups in town. So, Nashville's got a booming tech scene right now, which I love. Lots of great technology startups coming out. And for a lot of these people, apps are their whole business, but they've never built an app before. And so we're really lucky that we get to kind of come in and help them bring what's kind of an idea on the back of a napkin into an actual working product that they can go out and sell.
So one of the things that we hear a lot about, not only here in Nashville but everywhere, is that if you're going to start a company based around an app, you really need to have a technical co-founder. But you guys are kind of offering an alternative to these people. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we can be that technical co-founder basically. It's really hard, especially in the mobile market, to find talented developers who have any sort of experience and to train them and build a product. So companies can come to us with a great idea, and we can help them shape that into something that's possible, that's unique. We can help them get that out the door without them having to ramp up a huge in-house team and find a technical co-founder who can make the right hires and get the right people in the door.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because that's what you know.
Right. Exactly.
Now, you've told me that you guys have had some really good growth over the last couple of years,
yeah, we've been really lucky.
And there's great things that come with that, but there's also some challenges. What are some of the challenges you've wrestled with as a growing company?
Yeah, I mean, being an entrepreneur, I guess, if you can call me that, I'm more of a small business owner, but being that has a ton of ups and downs. It's like riding a roller coaster.
Right.
We've had some challenges with basically matching our internal capacity with external demand. We've always just grown by word of mouth, which is really nice for us. We get clients just based on other people's referrals.
Sure.
But sometimes we have a client who says, I need 7 devs on a project, and we're only 6 people.
Right.
So, it's always challenging to figure out, well, can we go ahead and hire those extra people, because we're just on a contract basis with these other companies.
Sure.
So if they pull out, are we going to be able to continue to keep those people busy and keep them paid? So that's really tricky. Yeah, I mean, growing's been tough, but I think it's taught us a lot.
It's interesting because when you get a little bit larger, it's still a big decision to add an employee. But when you're at 6 and you go to 7, that's a huge increase in your monthly expenses.
Yeah, absolutely. Mobile developers are not cheap. They're some of the highest paid engineers in the country.
That's right, and it's not something that you can just kind of smooth over. I mean, there has to be work coming in the door to make that work.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are some other challenges you've had besides staffing?
So staffing was a big one.
Are you having problems finding these developers?
Well, finding developers is tough. I mean, we try to be very involved in the community, and we have to hire the right people. A bad hire at our size would just tank us.
Right.
And so, it's really hard to, get out there and find someone just on a cold call. Most of the guys we work with have industry experience. They have found out about us through, we've been at meetups together or something like that, and they say, hey, I like what you guys are doing. I think you're offering a little bit better work-life balance. We only make our guys work 32 hours a week, which is like a big boon for them compared to some other companies. And so they decide to make the leap, and they have I think another thing they really like is they have a lot of ownership. So I like to describe our company as a flat hierarchy, but I mean really like it's a meritocracy. Whoever has the best idea is going to win. And hopefully we'll be able to keep it that way as we grow.
Very cool. Cash flow been a challenge at times?
Cash flow has been a challenge. As we grow, there's just more money out there. So, our accounts receivable gets larger. Some months we make a ton of money, some months no one pays us. We've had strange things where, clients want to wait until next quarter so this quarter's results look better. That's an issue. I've kind of learned to just ride that wave, and I've got a nice financial model that helps me understand, like, things are going to be okay, like we have this many, outstanding invoices and it's going to be fine. But
not something you learned about when you were learning how to develop.
Not at all. I mean, I'm from a purely engineering background. So
right.
The whole business side of things, I mean, minus my parents run a small business in Colombia, minus kind of what they taught me growing up. They let me be a part of the business. Minus that, I have zero business background. And so
if folks want to find you, your website is?
Yeah, so we're at LunarLincoln.com.
LunarLincoln.com. Where did the name come from?
So my co-founder loves history.
Okay.
Jennifer loves history. I love space. We thought Lincoln and the space program were very aspirational things. We like to say our apps shoot for the moon for our clients, and we love the way that Lincoln kind of was able to bring kind of disparate pieces together. And so that's where we came up with the name.
Very cool. Well, Wiley, thanks for coming by, and
thanks
look forward to talking to you again soon, I hope.
Appreciate it.